Welcome back to the channel. I took 2 runs to replay and played against Sports in Plano. I have never been to play it against Sports in Plano, and we actually ended up coming up with a nice stack of pre-flight number discs, some patent pending ones, even a first run Mirage here, but we'll get into that. Start off with my replay finds. On replay, you could probably go in any day of the week and find some really interesting discs. These were all turned in like the day before, so you never know what you're going to find in there. Somebody's always going to be finding the ones that, I don't get in. I usually go in once a week to find some stuff. So first off, we have a Star Roadrunner pre-flight number, so older disc. It's only 160 penned. It's actually in super good condition for one of these older discs of the Roadrunner. Now, great roller disc, might double our money on that one. Then we came out with a pretty cool Matrix. This is from the 2016 Circuit Challenge. And if you notice in the middle there, it's going to say patent pending. So always something good to look for is the patent pending on the underside for those MVP molds, because those are usually a little bit older, harder to find. And it's usually in this green with metal flake proton plastic. I just sold the Catalyst. I've got another Octane that's patent pending. Same thing as well as the Tesla. Actually, I've got a Tesla, the exact same color combo. So cool mold. I know, I think Eagle bags that one. And then speaking of Eagle, got a Razor Claw, an original Razor Claw. These are, I think what they came out with 4, maybe 3 before he left for MVP, but this was like their zone, basically. The Tactic, awesome disc. It's in pretty decent condition. Rims awesome. And this was the first disc I ever flipped. I was in replay, saw this thing. It was a purple and blue one. I was like, this is a cool looking disc. I'm going to buy it when I was first playing disc golf during COVID, and ended up selling the thing for like $60 something. I had no idea what I had until somebody out at Alex Clark, I randomly thrown it, said, oh, cool, you got a Razor Claw. Where'd you find it? Turned out to be pretty valuable. So Razor Claw, when I saw that, I was like, hey, we just got another one a couple years later. So nice disc there. Then we'll get into some more of these pre-flight number discs from Innova. We had a Champ Beast. I mean, it's only $8 for pre-flight number disc in really good condition. So, doubling your money on these discs is very easy to do. And again, you're going to be looking for discs, if you want to do what I do, that don't have flight numbers. You're usually going to see these that you'll see this Innova logo right here, and you're just not going to see flight numbers. Sometimes you'll see people wipe the flight numbers off. Don't buy those. Look for that. This is a Starfire. So again, $8 disc for a pre-flight number Starfire. This thing is stiff. It's pearly. This is the type of run that people pay a lot of money for. It's just the problem is it's hard to tell when you have this Champion Starfire compared to this Champion Starfire. This one I actually used in my last pre-flight number only round and parked like a 340-foot hole with just a forehand. This disc feels just ridiculously good. Now, it's a little bit gummier than this one, which is super stiff. So if you are in the market for pre-flight number Champ Starfire, hit me up on Facebook or Instagram, or I'll be posting all of these on my eBay account, because I've already got one of these Starfires and super good feeling disc in the hand. I've been surprised by the Starfire and the Orc from that last video. So then we're going to get into another one, which is a Star Max. This one actually has a nice swirly star pattern in here. And the Max is supposed to be a super overstable disc. This one actually feels like it's going to be overstable compared to the other Max that I was throwing, where I threw it on forehand on the last hole and it just went completely flipped up and over. So it didn't have the stability, but I'm wondering if this Star Max will, because it's a really good feeling mold, and it's really similar to what the Infinite Slab is. Now this one I've already cleaned up. It had chalk residue all over it. It's a Champion Viking, and it's a pretty fun mold to throw. It's in like really good condition too for being such an old disc. So we got the Champ Viking, and then I got another one of these Champion Monarchs today from Play It Again. Again, it's an $8 disc, pre-flight number. One of those like novelty molds, since it's got the notch throughout the entire rim. And again, it feels funny when you're holding it on a backhand, but for forehands, it feels perfectly fine. And if you're looking for like something that feels like a Firebird in hand, but is a lot flippier, Monarch is actually a pretty cool disc. This one's a lot stiffer than the other one that I was throwing. This is something I might actually throw in the bag and have some fun with, every now and then, compared to the other one I know it's going to be too flippy. Then this is a Protostar stamp. So if you are looking through the use bins and you see one of these stamps, that means this is a first run for whatever mold you're looking at. So this is called a Mirage. I never heard of the Mirage. Somebody wrote the flight numbers on the back, but it's 34-30. So this is supposed to be a fairly flippy disc. Had never heard of it. And you know what? Just for the heck of it, it's been thrown maybe 1 or 2 times, decided let's take a gamble on it. Flipping disc is never, a guarantee that you're going to make your money back. But usually, like I do with a lot of these, it's more about like moving them quickly, and you're going to find some cool gems like that first run Buzz. But this one is a patent pending Photon. It's a cool, nice mold. This one needs to be cleaned up. I got to take the sponge to this one to get that one cleaned up, and then a patent pending Energy, which is a pretty cool disc from MVP, an older run. And these are all less than $10 each. So usually, with shipping, I can get about $25 for all of these. I do have some offers, like some of these are already going to be gone by the time this video comes out. And then I do just want to make a couple updates with other discs. After that last pre-flight number round and throwing this Star FL, it's going to make its way in the bag. So I have had this like Mint Discs Alpha, and I've got this like green team stamped Innova FD from that $500 mystery box. You probably see me throw this. This also helped me win my first B tier of the year, but it's such a valuable disc. I don't want to be throwing this all the time. So I eventually need to find something that has the same flight as this. And while this is a kind of a weird mold that not a lot of people throw, it gives me confidence when I hold it in my hand. I think that's something that's really important for your game. When you are, let's say, just going through the use bins and you're just picking up discs, if something feels good in your hand, confidence is like the number one thing that I try to think about when I'm playing disc golf. Whenever I had the Alex Clark Memorial last week, finished 7th, I went from a 957 rated round to a 1025 rated round. And the difference ultimately came down to confidence. With wet, slippery tee pads, we're playing a layout that I'd never seen before. Even though I've played the gold layout like 10 times, it was completely different that round. So you're thinking about slipping, you're thinking about, is this the right play? I've never thrown this hole before, and things aren't going to go your way. But then next round, all the confidence in the world. I've played that layout so many times, and I knew exactly which discs I was going to throw when. But it also translates to what you bag. And if you pick something up and it just feels good, it's going to give you some more confidence. Who cares if it's not the mold that everyone else is talking about and throwing today? That is perfectly fine. And then last thing, I've been bagging this Cloudbreaker 2. This came from that big mystery box that I got that had Discmania discs from one of the pros. And, while I really, really want to keep throwing these, they are going to be incredibly hard to replace. So I do have this 22 Calvin Heimberg Tour Series Destroyer. Now, this specific color combo, this is basically a Cloudbreaker 2. It flies the exact same way. I've had some of these in the past, so I was like, as soon as I kind of realized I wanted to bag Cloudbreaker 2, I waited for one of these pop up, $20 on eBay, take that all day. So if you are looking for something similar to a Cloudbreaker 2, I would suggest this 22 cotton candy version of the Halo Destroyer. So those are a couple updates on the discs that I ended up getting. Again, look for those pre-flight number discs if you're trying to do the same thing that I do, and happy disc golfing.